everyone, welcome to today's video, which is a full face of old favourites. Some of them very old, some of them too old, some of them which really need to be thrown away, as I learnt. Excuse the quarantine hair. No one really cares how I look right now. And the Christmas pyjamas. It's not Christmas, I do know that, but it seems a waste to wear pyjamas for only 1 month of the year. So this is how we look today. The face is very glamorous, the rest of me is not, but that's what we're doing right now. Let's jump into the video. I've been digging through my makeup collection for old products that I used to love, and a lot of these I haven't used in a little while. A few of them are still relatively regularly appearing in my routine, but a lot I'd sort of semi-forgotten about. So we're going to try them all out today because we're not really buying new products right now with this current situation, so I figured it was a good time to do a full face of old favourites. So we're going to start with MAC Strobe Cream. I remember I wanted this so badly and I asked my mum for it for a Christmas present because it was too expensive for me to buy. This is in Peachlite. I have quite dry skin, so I'm going to whack this all over the face. But a warning, if your skin is a little on the oilier side, you don't want to put this in your T-zone because it is quite hydrating and you will get greasy throughout the day. Next, we're going into the Perfect Cover BB Cream by Missha. This is shade 21. It has an SPF of 42. Not that I particularly need that right now, but it's always good in the summer to have something with SPF. And this is a completely fresh tube. There we go. Hopefully this is going to be a good shade, unlike most of my foundations right now, which are too orange. You can go in with this just with the hands, which is something that I really like about it, because I will go in with a beauty blender or a brush and apply foundation, but a lot of the time I am quite lazy and I don't want to be bothered. So a product that can just be smoothed on with the fingers is quite nice. And well, let's see, what I might do is I might go in just over the top with a sponge to make sure any lines are nicely blurred out. I might also use a sponge to build up a little extra coverage where I want it, but for most of the face, the fingers will do just fine. Oh, this is a much better colour than a lot of stuff I've put on my face recently. So many foundations I've got out recently and looked at have been too orange. Problems of a British winter and no sunshine. I had a really good tan. I went on holiday. I was very lucky to go on holiday for 7 weeks. So I was nice and tan. I'm going to do a full face of Beauty Pie, and I was trying out the Beauty Pie BB cream that I got the other day, and it is so dark compared to my current skin tone because I bought it for when I was on holiday for 7 weeks and I was on the beach by the pool getting nice and brown with my book. Anyway, I've just applied a little bit more on the back of my hand, and I'm going to go in with a sponge and build up a little coverage here on the cheek. I get a little bit of redness coming through sometimes on the cheek area. Just blend out any lines with the sponge. Yeah, my cheeks tend to get a little bit red, and I do own green colour correctors, but a lot of the time, to be honest, I can't be bothered. Recurring theme here. Me just wanting a easier way to get things done rather than going in with too many extra products. And this BB cream has a reasonable amount of coverage. So if you're more used to using Western BB creams, you'll be used to them being very light in coverage. But this is a Korean BB cream and they are a little more coveragey than what Western brands typically make for BB creams. And they're much better, in my opinion. The Korean ones are just much better. Right, what's next? I've got 3 concealers. I've got the Moist Creamy Concealer from Aqua, which is a long-time favourite of mine and is still in my routine. The Lasting Perfection from Collection, which I used to use a long time ago when I mostly used very affordable products, and it's a very good concealer. And I also have the Diorskin Sculpt, which is kind of the first luxury, my sponge just made a break for it. My sponge is on the floor. We'll fix that later. The Diorskin Sculpt, which is one of the first luxury products I ever bought. So we're going to go in with a little bit of this one. This one's quite light coverage. And use that where I don't want too much extra. A little bit down here. And I'll go in with this one, the Pew one, where I have a few spots. Because this one has better coverage. And I'll go in with this one as well under the eyes, so that we're using all three. And I do have a little baby sponge to blend these with. My little egg. It's so. How do you not get fluff on your sponges? Like, I wish I knew the answer to this, because they always seem to get a little bit of fluff stuck to them. When I wash them, I like wash all the makeup off, but I don't seem to be able to get rid of the fluff that just sticks to them. You're just blending this out. Up here. Okay. And one of the nice things about all three of these concealers is they blend out nicely. They're not concealers that are going to dry down too quickly and become difficult to blend. So if you ever use something like Tarte Shape Tape, you can't really go around and apply it on all the areas of the face that you want it on and then blend it. You sort of have to apply and blend as you go, because that stuff dries down so quickly. And the advantage of that is that once it's down and it's dried, it's basically not going anywhere. But it does mean you have to work a little faster and be a little bit more careful with how you apply and blend the product. I forgot how much I like this Dior concealer. It's really like not full coverage at all, but it's just nice for a light everyday look. Okay, what else do we have in here? I've got some cream blush, which I was going to apply with the sponge that is now on the floor and dirty. So we won't be applying it with that, but I can put some on the back of my hand. If this pump is working. Oh, it is still working. This is the Bourjois Aqua blush. What shade is this? Is it written anywhere on here? Wow, it does not seem to be written anywhere on here. Maybe it was on the lid, which I've lost, but I will find it and I'll put it down below. How should I apply this? Okay, I'm gonna go in with a kabuki brush. This is from Real Techniques. This is the sculpting sculpting brush. Wow, I haven't used this blush in so long that it's kind of gone a bit weird. Like, it's not off, it's just I think there was a little bit of dried up product stuck in the pump, and then that's come out with everything else. But everything underneath is all liquidy. It's just a few little lumps with there. Okay, so I've got this on the back of my hand now. I'm going to go in with my brush. And these are really nice brushes. They're nice brushes and nice blushes. I always struggle saying that, getting my brushes and my blushes mixed up. These are really nice multitasking brushes from Real Techniques. You can use them for cream contour, cream highlight, blush, foundation, basically any cream product, apart from concealer really, because they're too big. And this, I forgot how much I like this brush. I mean, I obviously didn't completely forget because I pulled it out as an old favourite, but sometimes you forget how good stuff is. You know, new products are launched, you get excited about something new, you move on. But sometimes it's nice to look through what you already have and appreciate the things you have already rather than buying more products. And this blush is difficult to go wrong with. It blends really nicely. It's quite pigmented, but it blends out very well. So you can easily fix some mistakes if you go too heavy. I always go a bit heavy with the blush. I just like blush, but to each their own. I think that will probably do. A little bit extra just there. It's a little bit patchy, just there. Okay, I'm just going to quickly go over around the edges with my beauty blender. Mini spongy thing from Revolution, which is not a beauty blender. Because I would have gone over it with the big one, but now it's on the floor, and I'm definitely not going to put that on my face now because that is going to be filthy. Okay, we're done with blush. I think I'm going to stick to using the same brush actually that I've just got, and I'm going to apply some stick highlight. This is Radiant Touch from Kiko. It's a pale gold colour, and is there fluff stuck on that? No, there isn't. It's just, I think it's just finger marks. I'm going to wipe it just to be sure. Like a few of these things, they're not expired, but they haven't been used in a little while. There we go. With this, I never go in with a stick and apply it directly to the face because I find that moves everything underneath and it becomes hard to blend out. So what I do is I take my brush and really work it into the stick here so that I've got a nice amount on my brush. I don't know if you can see it, but then I go in with the brush and pat that onto the face. And if you can see that, that's very glowy stick highlight there. And that way you get a nice even dispersal of product. You don't move around the foundation that's underneath, and you can control how much is going on. Like you can build up from quite a subtle look to quite an intense look. I apply a little bit more now. Okay, go on the other side and working that product into the brush. I feel like stick highlights are one of the hardest things to figure out how to use because they really can shift the product you've applied underneath when you put them on. And I feel like that temptation is definitely there to just go in on the face and feel like you can blend out from that. And my personal experience, it's just not the best way to use them. The best way to use them is always just with a brush. Okay, how are we looking? Just gonna use a finger to make sure that's really patted in now. Make sure there aren't any brush marks. Okay, so what else do we have? We have another cream product before we move into powders, and this I'm going to use even though it is a discontinued product. This is the L'Oreal Glam Bronze Cushion Bronzer. Looks like this. So I'm going to take another, exactly the same brush, but this is a clean one, a second one. I'm going to dab this into the cushion and then use this as my bronzer. And it's still, I mean, I've had this a little while, but it smells fine, it looks fine, it still picks up on the brush. So I'm still using it. Maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe it's a bit old, but I personally really like it, and I'm sad that it's discontinued. I do have a spare one, an unopened one, in backup at my house. But for now, we'll just have to use the opened one. Although, like I said, I probably should throw this one away and just open the backup that I bought before it got completely discontinued. This is quite an orange shade. I'm usually more of a hybrid contoury bronzer kind of colour, something a little cooler in shade, but I do have a separate contour powder to use today, so I don't mind that this is a little bit on the oranger side. Okay, I think we can finally move into powder. I'm going to use the Insta Fixer Matte from Rimmel, and first I'm going to just go in and make sure those under eye creases are blended, because we don't want to set those in place. It is always a good idea just to check for any creasing in your cream products before you go in with your powder, because once you go in with your powder, you're basically in a situation where you can't fix it. I'm going to take a little clean brush here for the under eye. This is a really nice powder as well. Like, it's a really handy, compact for traveling or for putting in your purse, because sometimes loose translucent powders can be a little bit inconvenient. Then a lot of the time pressed powders tend to be tinted powders rather than completely clear ones like this. So this one I really like personally. I'm going to take a larger brush now to go in on the rest of the face. Oh, I've managed to uncover that little spot there when I was doing my bronzer, but never mind. I should have checked it before I put powder on, but it's too late now. We'll just have to live with it. So going in with a little contour now, I've got this from Kevyn Aucoin, the Sculpting powder in light, which is, I feel like, one everyone is familiar with. It used to be very popular quite a while ago. So I'm going to go in with a sort of smaller brush here. I don't know whose brush this is. It just says Cheeks on it. I think it's just a cheap brush I probably got from Superdrug. I'm going to dip that very lightly into the powder, tap it off, and then I'm going to work that in under the cheekbone. I'm going to contour my chin a little bit. Tiny bit up in the hairline in addition to that bronzer. And should we put a little on the nose? I'm not like a big nose contouring person, but I'm going to just put a little bit, connecting the nose up to the eyebrow and under the bottom of the nose here. Okay, I also have a powder bronzer and a powder highlight slash blush. It's a highlight that I use as a blush to share with you. One or the other. This is from Gosh. It's called the Bronzing Powder in 02. And, ooh, open it. I'm going to apply just a tiny bit of this on top of the cream with another Real Techniques brush, Swan. Just a little tip or idea. If you want to apply a very light dusting of something, if you hold your brush nearer the end rather than down by the actual brush fibres, you can get quite a light little flick of product. Put a little bit on the forehead. Just blend that round. Blend it down a bit on the nose, chin, and we'll put a bit down the neck so that it's not left out. Ooh, put a big blob there. The highlight I use as a blush is a Duochrome highlight from Geek. This is Psychedelic, and in the pan it looks sort of a white yellow colour, but I will swatch it on my hand for you so you can see that it has a really pretty peachy sort of, yeah, goldy peachy shift. I don't know if this is really going to come across, but maybe you'll be able to see it on the face. I'm going to take my blush brush, if I can find it. What have I done with it? Ah, it's hiding from me. Here it is. This is a Revlon brush. Just a little dip in there, tap off. Now I'm going to apply that just all over the top of the cheek area here. I don't know if you can see now that peach shift that gives. I have a lot of products in here today that I don't really need. I don't really need cream highlight and powder highlight and cream bronzer and powder bronzer, but I'm trying to show you my old favourites, so I'm just full on going in with it. This is one from the Body Shop. This is their little pearl highlights, if you can see here. I try not to pour them everywhere. So there's sort of a variety of different colours, and you can go in with your brush, just sort of smush around in there, and then apply that to the face. And it is a nice highlight. I have a lot of highlight on now, so it's looking pretty intense. This highlight by itself, just on bare skin or just on top of your foundation, is not particularly intense, but it is a nice shade if you are pale. It's not too warm, it's not too icy, it's not too dark. Put a little bit on the lip. So you can see it more by itself there. I do like highlight. Okay, we're gonna stop with highlight now and leave the face alone and move on to the eyebrows and the eye makeup. For the brows, I have this pencil by Clinique, which is the Superfine Liner for Brows, and this is the shade 02 Soft Brown. It might be a little bit light for my brows now. I'm gonna speed this up because you do not want to see me sit here for like 10-15 minutes and do brows. Okay, let's whiz through this. Just realised I do not have a spoolie, because annoyingly this pencil does not have one on the other end, which is I think one of the reasons I stopped using it. Like, I used to really love it and then I stopped using it because of the lack of spoolie, so I will just go grab one of those. This is actually slightly darker and ashier than I remember, which I'm actually happy about, because I hate when eyebrow pencils are too red in colour. We're going to stop there for now with the brows. I do have a gel to apply into them once we've finished and done the setting spray, because I like to apply mascara and eyebrow gel after setting spray, just in case the setting spray makes it run or anything like that. So now we will move into eyeshadow, and I have one of these, what brand is this? Oh, Maybelline, of course, Maybelline Color Tattoo 24-hour little pots here, and this one I believe is still quite creamy. So we're going to go in and use this as a crease shade, I think. Just going to whack my brush in there. It has not dried out completely. That is the good news. Let's see. Yeah. This might go a bit patchy. We'll have to wait and find out. So this is the problem with cream products, particularly ones that are in pots rather than in tubes, is that they do dry out. And something like this you can't loosen back up again. So after this I'm going to use the NYX Lid Lingerie. And the good thing about something like that, which is a liquid sort of moussey sort of consistency in a tube, is that you can take something sterile like saline, you know, like you use if you have contact lenses, or you can take something like eye drops, which are basically the same thing, and you can put a couple of drops into your tube, smush the little applicator up and down to mix it around, and it will refresh the product a bit and make it last a little bit longer. You can do the same thing with mascara. Just make sure you're putting something sterile into it, not just water out the tap or any old thing. Make sure it's something like saline solution. There we go, this is working all right. Just slowly work on blending out that colour. Go in with the other eye. I'm starting by just sweeping it through the crease. And the way I apply things in my crease is to look down, not close my eye and not have my eye completely open, but look down so my eye is half closed. This probably looks really weird now. But look down and then apply the brush at an upwards angle so that it's pushing against the bone of my eye socket. And that's the way I find it easiest to get in and define the crease. Don't want to take it too far down on the outer corner. Just blend that up now a bit towards the eyebrow. Try and make it match the other side. These little pots are really long lasting. Once they dry down, they last really, really well. And I don't know, do they still make these? Like, surely they still make these, right? Like this wasn't that long ago that these were popular. I mean, I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna have to check that these are still a thing that exist. Or like maybe they still exist but they've been reformulated, something like that. A bit more on this side. I'm going to apply a little bit more into the crease without sort of blowing it out quite so much, just to depthen the shadow there. Again, I'm looking down, I'm pushing the brush upwards. I'll blend that out more in a second once I've got the same thing on the other side. I do have quite a lot of folds in my eyelid, so I find it quite difficult sometimes to create a nice shape. I particularly struggle with winged eyeliner because of these folds that I have here at the corner. It's very hard for me to get a line that is straight, so I have to do a sort of stepped wing where when I close my eyes it's not straight, and when I open my eyes it looks straight, if that makes sense. It's a lot of effort though, which is why I basically never do a winged eyeliner. That's looking nice. We're going to take a smaller brush and just pop a little bit on the lower, dropping it on the lower lash line as well. This is a little pencil brush. And again, these stay on really well. So if you're like me and you are a watery-eyed person and you tend to lose all of your lower lash line makeup and sometimes part of your concealer because your eye waters too much, a liquid formula that dries down really solid like this can be very helpful. I'm going to put a tiny bit more. Where's my brush gone? Just here. Because I feel like it's just a tiny bit patchy, which I'm going to attribute to the age of this product rather than the product itself, what it would be like if it was completely new. But yeah, like I said, I'm really trying not to buy things right now because, to be honest, buying things right now means that people have to be at work packaging up our online orders when that's really not an essential job, you know, like we don't really need new makeup, we don't really need new clothes or new shoes right now, and packaging up those products in warehouses is potentially putting people at risk. So we're just making do with what we already have, which, to be honest, is plenty, so it's not really that much of a hardship, so we can just suck it up and get on with it, can't we, really? Now, like I said, the lip lingerie. Make sure I've got a clean finger because I'm going to blend this out with my hand. These are really easy to use. They're so user-friendly because you can just pop a bit on the lid with the applicator, take a finger and just pat and slightly stroke, like little tiny strokes to spread it, and then pats like this. And with your finger you can really feel where your eye socket is and where the edge of your eyelid is, and feel how far you want to blend the product. If you want to blend the product up into the crease like I'm doing, you can. I feel like while you're young you should enjoy putting glimmer more up in the crease, because when you get older you're not going to be able to enjoy doing that anymore. Basically, the more lines you get, the more texture you get with your skin, the less able you're going to be able to use anything highlighty really, whether that's on the eyes or on the face. So load it on and enjoy it now. Now, a super old favourite of mine is this from Clinique. I have no idea how old this is. I've had this since I started wearing makeup, which is probably not very hygienic, but I do tend to be very careful with my products and try and keep them as clean as possible. I mean, this has even got the original little applicator in it, which I definitely don't use anymore, but it's a duo. It's called Strawberry Fudge, and it's got a slightly purpley brown, which is shimmery, and a shimmery pink gold duochrome shade, which I think is really lovely. So as soon as I've got some duochrome going on the face, I'm going to apply a little bit of this pink shade just to the inside here. Dab that on. It's so shiny. I love it so much. Look at that. That is a good quality eyeshadow. I don't care how old you are, I'm never getting rid of you. This will be like one of those products that if I ever feel like I'm about to run out of it, I will just stop using it and then keep the remnants forever rather than using it up, because it's just, I don't know, somehow symbolic of my early forays into makeup, and I just want to hang on to it forever. So I don't use it that often now, because even though I'm just jabbing myself with my fingernails, let's get a brush. Just get a little dense brush here. So even though there is at the moment plenty left, I don't use it that often. Whereas when I was younger, this is literally the eyeshadow I wore every single day. Every day. I'm going to take a little bit of these pearls. Just, oh, this brush. That's not good. Get this brush in here and apply that to the inner corner. There we go. Put this away again. The only problem with these is that the pearls are kind of annoying and fragile, and you have to be super careful with it. So that's the reason I don't really use it very often anymore. When I first bought it, I loved it because it's a beautiful colour and a beautiful level of shimmer. It's not too crazy and it's definitely visible, but I kind of stopped using it mostly because of the inconvenience of the way it's packaged. So now I'm going to take a little bit of this brown, also from the Clinique Duo, and pop that on the outer edge. Basically, we're going for a very shiny eye today, but I like it personally. And I do like being able to apply my eyeshadow with my hands. Okay, I'm going to just take a tiny bit of that matte bronzer to blend over the edge of that shimmer there in the crease. What brush have I got that's clean? I need to wash my brushes. This is not quite clean, but it's almost clean, so we're going to say it's okay. Tiny bit of bronzer, just blend that. Tiny bit of bronzer, blend this here. And I'm going to call the eyes done. Okay, what do we have left to do apart from... I need some super glue to ditch. Do I throw it away? Do I glue it? I mean, I should probably glue it. It's like perfectly fine apart from the fact that it's broken. You know what I mean. Where did we get to? Oh, eyeliner. There's many eyeliner on, so we're not quite done with the eyes. This is the McQueen Waterproof Gel Pencil Eyeliner. I'm gonna tight line with this. These are really good, these really stay in place. I'm gonna make a video dedicated to waterproof eyeliner formulas that are waterproof. It's really hard to talk and do this. Okay, what shade was that? 03, that's shade 03 from the McQueen Waterproof Pencil Gel Liner line. It's just a plain old bronze, but it's a very nice eyeliner. And then for the lower waterline, I do have just a amazing inner eye brightener from Makeup Revolution. This is a twist up. Things I'm learning so far from this video that I don't quite like as much as I thought I did, or as much as I used to. I'm not as big a fan of this powder, I don't think. Maybe just this powder and concealer slash BB cream mixture. You know, sometimes products don't work great together, and I feel like this was a little bit dry for what I had on. And I also feel like this is a little bit orange for me right now, but that is partly due to my lack of tan. And also this blush, I don't know whether I should just throw this away, whether it's just that it's a bit old, but I don't know if it's harder to see on my face, but if you can see on the back of my hand where I had that spread out and I was using my beauty blender, how dry that has gone. And that could, I mean, it's basically gone really, really weird on the back of my hand, and that could just be that the product needs to go in the bin, because I don't remember it doing that. But it does seem a little bit dry on my face as well. Maybe I should just put that one in the bin and say goodbye, because I have many, many other cream brush blushes that are definitely not expired. What was I doing? Oh yeah, lips. I forgot about lips. Lips need to be done. I'm not going to use a lip liner because I never used to use them when I did my makeup. My hands are so covered in makeup now. I'm just gonna wipe away the foundation a little bit. And I'm going to use this Etude House Dear Darling Water Tint. This is in shade 01, I believe. Yes, it's just a pink. It's just a straight up pink. I also have this in an orange. These are really nice to use underneath other products if you want to use more of a traditional lipstick or a lip gloss, but you want colour to remain once those start to wear off a bit. You can use a tint underneath. And these are literally just like water. They have no texture to them really. They just stain the lips. See, that's quite pigmented. People are back from their daily outside exercise. Their one daily outside exercise that's allowed. That's okay. Just gonna blend this out a bit. And then over the top, I'm going to use this lipstick from Clinique. This is Lip Pop, and it is 09 Sweet Pop. It's just a pink. I used to be very into like a bright pink lip, bright pink, even brighter than this. These lipsticks are really, really nice if you have dry lips because they hydrate and they just glide on and they don't show any dry patches. Spray, setting spray, I think that's the stage we reach before we do mascara and brow gel. This is, well, it's in the Rimmel Insta Fix and Go bottle, but it's not actually Rimmel spray. So I used up all of the Insta Fix and Go spray, and I really, really liked the mister on this bottle, which is really fine. For a cheap spray, it has a really good mister. And so what I've actually got in here now is NYX Dewy Setting Spray. I transferred it over because the NYX spray bottles, in my opinion, are not very good. So now I have NYX in a nice spray. Wow, a bit of like really dry blush just like fell off my hand. That's really weird. I think I'm gonna put this blush in the bin and just have nice memories of it rather than try and keep using it because it's clearly not quite right. Yes. Brow gel. This is NYX and the shade is Espresso. Ooh. Brow gel always makes me super nervous because if you get it somewhere you don't want it, you're kind of screwed. My mum really likes this product as well. She has a slightly lighter shade, I think, but oh, I wish the wand was like very slightly smaller because I don't have the biggest eyebrows in the world and it's just a little bit big, but the product itself is really nice and it's nice and affordable, so it's one I used to use all the time. Oh wow, I just broke the bottle, guys. Look what happened. Look what just happened. How did that happen? Oh my god, now I can't even unscrew it. I just like completely cracked it. Okay, we're gonna mourn this now. This one is dead. This one has to go in the bin. I can't believe that just happened. Okay, moving on, over it. It's okay. It's okay. Mascara. So I don't have an old mascara that's a favourite because mascara you throw away because it gets disgusting and dry and really bad and risk giving you an eye infection. So I'm just going to use my current favourite combination, which is the Kiko Maxi Mod. I'm going to apply to lengthen and separate the lashes. I want then the Lash Paradise in waterproof. I have to have a waterproof formula over the top of the Kiko one because it's not waterproof. I'm trying to do this very quickly now because everyone just got back and they are trying very hard to be quiet for me. And I want them to be able to talk in a second, so I'm going to try and quickly wrap this up. Lower Lash Mascara is also one I've been using for a very long time. This is the Innisfree Skinny Waterproof Micro Cara. You'll have to excuse my hair. My hair needs to be washed, but we're just gonna call it coronavirus chic. Oof, yeah. Shower next. What am I gonna do? Take a little bit of my bronzer just back into my hairline where I've been wearing that headband. I have a slight pale patch, but apart from that slight problem, we're done. This was a full face of some really old favourites of mine. Some I still really like. I still love this, all the concealers, the base from MAC, the BB cream from Missha, the highlight stick from Kiko, the lip tint, the mascara that I sadly just destroyed for my brows. I'm not as big a fan as I used to be of this or this or this. Clearly I used to be into a lot of shine on the cheeks and I feel like I'm not quite into that anymore. I've moved on from that. It's still a lovely product, but I can't use it as a highlighter because of the colour of it. You know, my skin's too pale for this as a highlighter, so it has to be a blush topper, and it is a bit more intense than I remember. But apart from that, I still really enjoy these products. I still love this one. I still love, where's it gone? Lost it. Still love the NYX spray, although not in the NYX bottle. And we will stop there. I hope this video gave you a few moments of peace and distraction and that you are having an enjoyable day wherever you are. Okay, bye.